Right, so last night at silly o'clock UK time, Chelsea ran out 3-0 winners over ES Chinez. And that, for me, makes for a terrific little start to our Club World Cup campaign. See that? I'm just sweeping that little 3-1 loss to Flamengo under the carpet. That's exactly what I'm doing there. And let's be fair, right? It's not like we didn't bounce back in style, because we have just gone and beat ES Chinez, right? And they obviously accumulated for more points in the group stages than Porto, than Boca Juniors. I mean, they got more points than Man United. They got more points than Liverpool. You know, they got more points than European royalty in Arsenal. Obviously, none of them lot got any points because they didn't actually qualify. But most importantly, they beat a Galactico-esque LAFC side, which you and me could literally name every single player in the starting lineup and all of the bench, yeah? We're talking Hugo Lloris. We're talking Olivier Giroud. We're talking other professional football/soccer players that play for the Galactico-esque LAFC. But despite the fact we are going to speak about last night's game, I want to more use this opportunity, now that I'm back from holiday, to give you guys my thoughts on the Club World Cup as a whole so far. What's gone right for us, what's gone wrong for us, the positives, the negatives, everything in between, and then hear back from you guys. But before we get into all that, people, welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. If you are new around here, please do hit the subscribe button if you like the content and you want to see more from myself. If you are one of the 50% of regular viewers that aren't subscribed to the channel, I forgive you. You probably just don't realise how to do it. It's a click of a button. It's down there somewhere, I believe, but please do it. It really helps me out. If you could smash a like on the video right now, that would help me out even more. And I'll let you in on a secret here. It's about 40 degrees in this room I'm sat in right now, and this is my second attempt because I fucked the first one up. So just for that, can you please do me a massive favour and make sure that you like the video? Let's get into it. Right, I'm going to start off with the thing that I'm happiest about, and it's something that isn't even really in our control. I'm happy that we got the easier side of the draw, at least until the semi-finals, you would imagine, right? Because let's be honest, Benfica, they're a good side. They're a good side. They beat Bayern Munich, but at the same time, how many of their players can you even really name? Angel Di Maria, yeah, he's all right. He's actually gone on longer than I thought he would. Not in life, but just in, high-level football. And his numbers and his stats are pretty good. I remember Angel Di Maria as being the man that Man United fans thought was going to be, the man to bring titles back to Old Trafford under Louis van Gaal, I think it was, about 34 years ago. That didn't ever come to fruition. Obviously, who have Benfica got? Pavlidis, I believe it is. I'm probably butchering it, probably not pronouncing it right, but he's a Greek striker, good player. I don't know much about Benfica, if I'm being completely honest. I know they have had some good players. Enzo Fernandez, Ramirez, David Luiz. Any more that I'm not thinking of? Benfica? Any more? Nemanja Matic. There you go. But they all moved on to bigger and better things, as I'm sure many more of your lot will do when they come up against the big boys in Chelsea Football Club. Get a little taste for just how good it is to play in blue. But yeah, all of those lot were non-relevant to this Benfica side. But what I'm saying is, I didn't know about Ramirez, really, before he signed for us. I didn't know about a lot of players that played for Benfica before they signed for us. Even Enzo Fernandez, didn't even know about him before the World Cup, if I'm being completely honest. So, who's to say they haven't got more gems that could exploit us and that could, really give us some problems. But if you had have offered me, right, a round of 16 tie against Benfica and then a quarter-final against one of Palmeiras or a team who I can't even pronounce, Botafogo, I believe it was, I'd have taken it. So that's a good omen, isn't it? It's a good omen. One thing I'm about to tell you, and this is the second thing we've learned. It's an even better omen, and that is that when we're speaking of omens, curses, things like that, Liam Delap's about to break the number 9 curse, isn't he? I think he's about to do it. I think Liam Delap is definitely going to break the number 9 curse. And I mean no disrespect to Nicholas Jackson or to Mark Dew, but I think from what I'm seeing right now, he is a level above. He's showing instinctive striker traits that you saw in the early 2000s, but in today's modern day game of football are just not there. They're not there enough, and Liam Delap is showing it, and it's so nice to be able to see that. The goal we saw from him last night just amplified it. It just showed that sometimes simplicity is key. Take the ball down, turn, get it out your feet as quick as you possibly can, and get it into the back of the net, and that is what he did. He's a handful, and he's clinical, and some people will say, oh, well, you know, the level he's playing at so far. Let's see, my friends. Let's see. Because that's 2 goal involvements, by the way, so far. In what? Probably less than 160 minutes of football. 150 minutes odd of football, I reckon. 2 goal involvements. It's pretty good going. It's not bad going at all. The more I'm seeing of him, the more I'm liking him, the more I'm realising that he's going to do better than I thought he was going to do next season. I initially thought that, 13 to 15 goals. Now I'm more thinking 18 to 22 league goals for Delap. And it's also what he creates for those around him. I've spoke before about Nicholas Jackson creating a lot for those around him. I still hang on to that. I still will, die on my sword by that and say that. But Nicholas Jackson doesn't then get 20 goals. He gets 14s and 10s on this season and whatnot. Liam Delap, if he's creating as many as Nicholas Jackson does for those around him, and then he's getting 20 or so, we're going to be scoring more goals. We're going to be doing better. So I think for Delap, this is huge. This is huge now, because I don't know whether Nicholas Jackson's red card is wiped for the next game, because knockout stages, regardless, against Benefica, I want to see Liam Delap start the game. And what we do know is that Nicholas Jackson's red card is standing for the opening day of the Premier League season. I don't think we know who we're facing yet, but if Liam Delap starts that game, if he scores in that game, it's going to be very hard to displace him. So Nicholas Jackson will get his minutes. They will come in the cup competitions. We're going to have more matches. They will come maybe in Europe. And maybe that we might be surprised. Enzo Maresca is almost Claudio Ranieri-esque in terms of being a bit of a tinkerman. And managing Leicester at one point, being Italian. But what I'm saying is, he does tinker. Maybe every now and again he'll give Liam Delap a little rest if he's played in the week, and he'll play Nicholas Jackson and he'll start between the two. But I don't know. I feel a little bit bad for Nicholas Jackson because I do admire him, but I do think you make your own luck in life. And in 2 seasons, I do think he's got better at certain attributes, right? At the start of this season, I was thinking, wow, he's become so much more clinical, and then it boiled off and he wasn't really. But one attribute I can't forgive him on, especially with his age now, is the sort of composure, the amount of games that he's lost because he's lost composure, the amount of minutes we've lost of having a recognised number 9, who some debate isn't even a recognised number 9, on the field because he's been sent off in matches, which, again, he's been sent off in another match. And yeah, I don't know if the disciplinary record is going to get any better now for Nicholas Jackson. So this is something that it worries me a little bit. It worries me. I'll tell you what doesn't worry me. The fact that Enzo Fernandez is turning into an absolute bagsman or a numbersman or whatever you want to call it. A goals and assists man. But that is exactly what he's doing. Because last night he got a brace of assists, right? That's 3 goal involvements in 3 games so far in this tournament. I believe it's just 2 starts that he's actually started. And some people go, oh, the level of competition. That's how everyone else speaks that doesn't support Chelsea, by the way. They'll go, oh, level of competition. Okay, well, what about the goal and assist in the European final that Enzo Fernandez got? What about when we drew 2-2 to Ipswich with, I think, 6 games to go? Every single bookmakers had Aston Villa, had Newcastle, had Nottingham Forest, Man City included, and everyone else as favourites to finish in Champions League qualification spots ahead of Chelsea. Not just top 4, Champions League qualification, so top 5, right? What happens then? Enzo Fernandez goes on a 3-game run where he gets 3 goal involvements, one of them being against the champions, Liverpool, opening the scoring that day and very much setting the temperament for us getting that win in one of the most unlikely run-ins for us to be able to salvage Champions League football. He played great in all of those games. And now, in 41 starts in this Premier League season for Chelsea Football Club, Enzo Fernandez has been able to contribute 25 goal involvements. That is not bad. That is not bad coming from midfield. He's not Caicedo. He doesn't do that job. So to contribute that is really, really good. And do you know what? At the age he's at and having spent only really 2 full seasons at Chelsea Football Club, if you look back at the greatest goal-scoring midfielder of all time, Frank Lampard, at a very similar age, having only spent 2 full seasons at Chelsea Football Club, he actually contributed 2 less goals than that, 23, I believe it was, and I think that Frank Lampard did that in 56 starts that season. So I'm not saying that makes Enzo Fernandez any better of a goal scorer or an assister than Frank Lampard. I don't think he is, but I'm showing you for context, we can't be too harsh on Enzo because them numbers are good numbers. And they're coming in a day and age where I don't think that the numbers are as high in favour for goal-scoring midfielders as they were back in the day. But I don't know. Listen, I spoke about the Liam Delap link-up with Cole Palmer. And that's something that, for me, it's really, really important. It's really, really important we see it. I said before that Cole Palmer always plays better when Nicholas Jackson's there. And now I'm starting to question, does he play better when Jackson's there? Or does he just play better when there's a recognised number 9 making those recognised number 9 runs and therefore Cole Palmer can show those attributes to his game? Well, with Liam Delap, he's going to get that. But also, Enzo Fernandez is going to get that. Obviously, he's assisted now for Liam Delap. Liam Delap has assisted for Enzo Fernandez, so they're already showing a bit of a link up there. And if that can become a sort of a duo next season that contributes goals, that's going to help us even more. Liam Delap actually spoke about Enzo Fernandez after the game, and he said, we speak a lot, and Enzo's basically said to him, in a nutshell, when I get the ball, you run. And that tells me that we are looking to be direct with a number 9, and Enzo Fernandez is going to be integral to that. I know I said I'd speak about just a few points, just quickly. Tosin Adarabioyo, very, very important player for us. I thought that maybe we would have him for a season, flip him because there was no signing fee, and the wages weren't all that high. I think he's actually a really important player for Enzo Maresca, and I think he's firmly got Enzo Maresca's trust. So to land him on a free can only be described as great business. Now, speaking of Enzo Maresca's trust, people who should have Enzo Maresca's trust is us. To be honest, is us, because we always question it. We always question team selection, substitutions, things like that. Is natural. It's what we like to do as football fans. And there's so many times in Conference League games when I've questioned it. Oh, we've gone too strong. In Premier League games, oh, we've gone too weak and we're looking at the Conference League. But actually, by hook or by crook, he's got us over the line, and it's never really backfired all that much. You might be able to think of an individual match it hasn't, but for the most part, it hasn't. I mean, look at last night. It's a must-win game. We could have gone out of the competition last night. Yet you see Jorgensen in goal instead of Sanchez. No, I'm not against Jorgensen, but I'm saying if you're not starting Sanchez, start fucking Penders. So at least we can see what we've got, because we know we ain't getting Petrovic back through the door. A Champong at right back, I'm cool with that. Reece has started a couple of games. Cool with the centre-backs. Gustav at left-back, not sure about that. When I saw Romeo Lavia, I love Romeo Lavia, but would I have rather have seen Andre Santos on the pitch? Yeah, I probably would have done. And then when I looked at the wide options, Madueke on the left-hand side, which isn't his preferred side, and Kieran Dewsbury Hall on the right-hand side, what sort of service is that for Liam Delap? About to call him Rory again there, for Liam Delap. But here's the key point. I was wrong, because we won the game 3-0. So I think that sometimes we just got to get off of Enzo Maresca's case. I do live streams all the time, and people would just be so negative, and then we end up winning the game 2-3-0. But just quickly, I want to take 1 minute to tell you guys about new partner of the channel, Nyla Apparel. I was lucky enough to be sent some clothes by these lot around a month ago, and I've got to be honest with you, since receiving them, they have become my go-to for both t-shirts and now for tracksuits. Now, I would not vouch for something unless I truly believed in the product, and anyone that's seen me out and about around town will know that I am wearing wearing the Nyla t-shirts all of the time. The first thing I noticed about them was how good the quality was, and then when speaking to the guys at Nyla, I found out that the money spent on material in comparison to what the actual t-shirts are sold for is probably about 10 times less than you would usually sell a t-shirt for that cost at. Basically, I'm of the opinion that they're spending about the same on materials as you do most t-shirts in flannels, but instead of paying 200 to 300 quid, you're paying about 10 times less than that. Instead, you're looking at £32 for the t-shirts, including free shipping, and just over £100 for the tracksuits. No shade thrown here, but the other day I had my eyes on a Nike tracksuit in JD Sports. I got it, I went to the checkout, and I was nearly at the point of having a heart attack when I found out that tracksuits, I always assumed, back in the day, growing up, were 100 quid. They're now costing over 200 quid, and these ones are exactly the same quality. So if you want a great fit at a great price for clothing that suits all occasions, hit the link in the description and browse the Nyla website. Thanks again to Nyla Apparel for their support with the channel. Let's get back into the video. So I'd rather end up winning the game 2-3-0. And I think that stylistically, you're about to see a different style of play. Now, that is not to say that Enzo Maresca is above criticism. He's not at all. I don't think Nkunku should be starting games, playing games, potentially having a chance at playing, 90 minutes and injuring himself and then being stuck on our wage bill when we want to get rid of him, I'd have gone Santos over Lavia because I think that in Santos, we've got to look at this player here that... I mean, look, we speak about Esteval, and I get that Santos is older than Esteval. He came in for less money than Esteval, and the ceiling, is maybe not as high. He's not as sexy as Esteval because of the position he plays and whatnot. But, you're hearing the likes of Bayern Munich and PSG and other clubs like that are in for Andre Santos, right? He is going to be a future starter for Brazil. And I don't want to run the risk of letting him slip through our fingers. Because I'll tell you one thing. There would be certain sections of the fan base, right, that would be very disgruntled if next season we get 10, 12 games in, 15 games in, and Esteval has not got a look in and has not been getting minutes. There's certain sections of the fan base that would be disgruntled at that. And that may come from the fact that there's more depth in the areas that Andre Santos plays in comparison to Esteval. But I'm just saying, we're all excited for Esteval. I'm excited for Santos, and I know we've got depth there. But I think we could be letting one slip through our fingers. I do. We look at players that have left Chelsea Football Club, maybe early on in their careers. They've left Chelsea Football Club and then they've gone on and they've done really, really good things. I'm thinking, loads of silverware. I'm thinking the likes of Mo Salah. I'm thinking the likes of Kevin De Bruyne. I'm thinking the likes of, obviously, Kai Havertz, being one of them. Gone on and just won silverware after silverware. But what I'm saying is, Andre Santos could be another one if we let him go, and especially if we let him go too cheap. So I just don't want it to happen. He needs more minutes. When he came on, 94% pass accuracy, got an assist. He showed his quality. He needs to get more game time. Am I confident that happens, that game time, as we now go into the knockout stages? No, I'm not. I can't say I'm confident, but I hope for the best. I hope for the best. One thing that does concern me a little bit, and it's concerned me throughout the season, in this tournament, it's concerning me quite a bit, is Malo Gusto. What happens with Malo Gusto, man? Because the system doesn't suit him. Playing a makeshift left-back doesn't suit him. Inverted midfield doesn't suit him. Malo Gusto's a great player. We saw his delivery under Mauricio Pochettino. And now with the likes of a Liam Delap in there, you look at that delivery and you think, well, Malo Gusto delivering onto the head or the foot, because he's good high and low crosses, by the way, Malo Gusto, to Liam Delap. That could be something now we have that sort of aerial presence and that dominant box presence in comparison to Nicholas Jackson. But he doesn't get himself into those positions because we don't play a system that allows him to. And when you look at how Reece James has adapted, when you look at how Joshua Changpong, I would say, has adapted, but actually I just think predominantly he plays more in that position. It's been more natural than it has for Malo Gusto. And Malo Gusto's tried a lot, and he's never thrown up a fuss. And I'm so grateful for what he did for us under Pochettino. But I think if you're Malo Gusto, you might want to move this summer. I think you might. I don't want him to. I want him to stay. And I'd have him happily as backup to Cucurella. But, is he as good as Cucurella? No, and if Cucurella got injured, then we're fucked. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't want it to be forgotten about what Malo Gusto did for us, because there was always such a huge drop-off when Reece James came out of the team. And when he spent more or less the entire season out of the team under Pochettino, Malo Gusto really came up trumps and helped us out in that period of time. Now we go on and we will be facing Benfica. Then we'll have one of Palmeiras. I'm guessing it will be Palmeiras. Guessing it will be. Listen, we might not get a hard game until the semi-final. I know that the bookmakers will have Real Madrid, they'll have Man City, they will have Bayern Munich, which they shouldn't really, but they will, PSG. They'll have a few teams ahead of us as favourites, but I don't see any reason why Chelsea can't go and win this competition. One-off games, I think we can do it. What have you learned from the opening 3 games? That's what I'm really interested to know. What are your main takeaways? How confident are you against Benfica in this round of 16 tie? And if it wasn't for Chelsea, who would you be picking? Who's the team that you're looking at this moment in time thinking that is the team to beat? Who are you most scared of? That's what I want to know. But I think everyone should be scared of Chelsea. I think we're coming for it. I really do. People, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I am sweating my bollocks off because I've had to record this twice. So please smash a like on the video and I will see you all in the next one.